Well, it's a beautiful day here, Christina, here in this building, and let me say I'm excited.
I'm certainly excited, Andrew. The scene is set, and we've got a first of our competitors coming through now. Everyone's looking pretty focused.
They certainly are determined, one would say.
Yes, they've been preparing for this event for many years now. Some would say they started well back in high school, Andrew.
Some would, and they've certainly gotten up early this morning, that's for sure. No one would want to miss a day like today.
No, there's a lot of hair straightening action we can see. There's a lot of input.
People are really putting effort into pushing that rotating door as well.
They certainly are. A lot of people rugged up today. It's slightly windy in the building.
Yes, but so it should be. On an epic day such as today, I find that the dramatic weather lends an element of dramaticism to the events about to take place.
That's right. As you can see, the competitors are all lining up. Everyone's looking very focused. There's a lot of espresso being consumed in the lead up to the event today.
True. They call it the sports drink of the now.
It certainly does hydrate you well, gives you a level of focus and determination that no other beverage can.
And also a desire to go to the toilet.
Yes, which could get in the way of a meeting later this afternoon.
Let's hope not, because these people are determined professionals.
They certainly are.
Each one of them lines, creases of determination on their face.
Everyone's powering ahead. You'll notice the new look briefcase coming in now. It's much more streamlined than we saw at last year's event. Now, some of the lady competitors, Andrew, you'll notice have pretty much hindered themselves in their choice of footwear today. You'll notice a lot of high heels, and you'll notice in the rush for lunch that they tend to get left behind.
Although some have argued the high heel adds a level of power.
And it certainly strengthens the calf muscle whilst they're in training.
It certainly does. And it almost gives a psychological boost as one towers far over where they normally would, by as much as 4 centimetres.
It's quite alarming, and it really does silhouette the thighs, the calves, and gives a nice streamlined appearance. Some female competitors say they would not be without them.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to objectify someone, but it's hot! So, but I see other people are really going for what is considered de rigueur wear for this event now, the suit.
The suit.
Yes, charming, sometimes with cufflinks and French cuffs even.
The only problem with the suit, Andrew, it is hard to slot sponsorship details on without getting in the way of the pinstripe.
That's very true, very true.
And I do notice a few very caring competitors carrying beverages for their fellow competitors. It's nice to see that even in this competitive day, people haven't forgotten where it all starts, Andrew.
Oh, it's so beautiful, isn't it? I don't like to use the word hero very often, Christina.
Oh, you do?
But I think the word... Yes, I do, actually. The word hero can be applied to these people today. They put in grit, determination, years of education, and they're here today to give it their all for whatever it is they're going to do.
Now, some people have suggested, Andrew, quite controversially, that height can be somewhat of an advantage in these events. People say that it enables competitors to get that competitive edge. It enables them to stride further and faster ahead of the field. What are your views on that?
Look, that may be so, but I think sometimes the small can be power packets. Sometimes small people suffer from something of, I suppose, a diminutive complex, where they think, well, I need to achieve more because I'm so small. And that's why some of the smallest people achieve the most.
Now, I have noticed an alarming trend just in my observations, Andrew. Large number of competitors are shirking the staircase and using the lift.
Look, I think that's quite all right in this day and age because it, of course, gets you there faster. And I think now any advantage that can be given by modern science should be taken advantage of.
But is getting there faster without using your own muscles and power and strength going to actually ruin it in the end, Andrew?
Look, it's an excellent question. I think only time will tell.
Because I would have thought that taking the stairs would give everyone a competitive edge.
Look, it might give you a competitive edge, but people do spend their time on different floors. So although for the floors 1 to 5 that might be quite all right, consider at least the people who work on the 59th floor.
It is a fair consideration.
Of course, they would be physically massive by the end of the year.
Yes, particularly in the thigh and calf regions.
Particularly if they've been wearing the high heels. Goodness gracious.
Yes, that's taking it to a whole other level.
It certainly is.
Now, there are a few competitors I've noticed today trying desperately to cover balding areas on their heads. Do you think that actually impacts on their effectiveness in this sport?
Well, I think it does, because obviously the bald often achieve more. They're not weighed down by hair. You know, and a sleek, slimlined bald man can really do so much that a man with a huge bouffant cannot. Get through low doorways, for example.
Yes, there's been a lot of research into the hair versus no hair factor, and it just seems a pity that so many of our male competitors are reluctant to remove the hair when it's clearly trying to remove itself.